So I heard some testimony given in regard to the Lockerbie, Scotland bomber, and the fact that he lived, I believe it was almost 3 years. I think this bill allows for them believing that maybe the person is going to live for 18 months. So my own father-in-law was injured in a mining accident a few years back. He lived for 9 years. The family was called in no less than 10 times over those 9 years and told that he was not going to survive. So we continued to go to the hospital over and over again because doctors thought he was on his last moments. So that's one point, which is the doctors can believe that someone is going to go at a certain time, but they continue to live. I was also thinking about the fact that, in my 20 years in the Department of Corrections, over and over and over again, there were physicians that would tell us that a particular incarcerated individual was going to pass very soon, and then 2-3 years later the person is still living. I might also add that there is the opportunity for the Department of Corrections, if someone is deemed to be dying, that has been turned over to hospice, whatever, that family can be brought into the institution so that they can have the last minutes that were described by the sponsor to allow that person to do that. And I will also say that not in every circumstance are the victims notified that someone is going to be paroled. So quite often, the victims are surprised to find out that an individual has been released, never had the opportunity to go before the parole board and make any kind of a statement. But if they do have to go back before the parole board, let's remember that those victims are being asked to tell their story all over again for why this person shouldn't be allowed to be released. So we are re-victimizing the actual victims of these cases in order to allow someone that a judge and jury said should be locked up for the rest of their lives or for an extended period of time. A judge and jury said that that was the case, but we're making the victims go back and be re-victimized in order to say why that person should not be released. And then again, to the point of there is a board of the Prison Review Board that has not come under the scrutiny of the Senate, who's going to be making these decisions. And I'm really struck by the fact that it's a 3-person board or 3-person committee that's going to make this decision. What if it's the 3 that we haven't even had the oversight on yet? So I think that there are a whole bunch of issues with this bill. I understand what your intent is. I wish that I could be compassionate in this, but to tell you the truth, my heart goes out to the victims involved in this, because that individual is supposed to be continued to be locked up, and we're going to let him out on the street if this bill goes through. I strenuously and plead for a no vote on this bill.